What's happening? All right, good morning. It's already 5:30. Let me get this party started. Start with some deep breathing. You're going to inhale and exhale, and inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale. And then I'm going to introduce myself on my descending count of 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Hey Daisy, how you doing? I am Dr. Donna Louise Thomas-Rodgers, daughter of Leslie Darnell Thomas, granddaughter of Arthur Jethro Evelyn II, and great-granddaughter of Levi Thomas. Welcome to your morning mental workout. Today's live is sponsored by the Elements H2O. When I say drink water, you are going to drink water, type it in, and we are going to continue to hydrate our brains. Today's topic is take naps. Take naps. A resilient mind is a rested mind. And one of the reasons why I made this one of the 74 principles of real leadership is because I have been a nap taker since I was a baby. I will take a nap. I'm like, nope, I'm taking a nap. I'm taking a nap. I'm taking a nap. I'm taking a nap. And I didn't at the time understand the neurological benefits of nap taking, but I do understand that now. So real leaders deliberately schedule short periods of intentional brain off time during the day to restore cognitive power, regulate emotional load, and prevent decision fatigue. Napping is not laziness, it is a strategic neural maintenance so the brain can perform at a higher level longer, more accurately, and with fewer mistakes. That is what the brain is doing. And so what happens is when I take a nap after I wake up, Nola will tell you it's like trying to drink out of a fire hose because all of the things that I was processing, now I'm up and I'm connecting dots like you would not believe. So I am a very much advocate for taking naps. And Thomas Edison used to take his pajamas to Menlo Park. It was located where he lived, and he would take a nap at 2 p.m. in the afternoon so that his mind would be refreshed. So my question to you this morning is, do you enjoy taking naps? Yes or no? Do you enjoy taking naps? Let me drink water from my other live. Do you enjoy taking naps? Yes. Anyone else? Do you enjoy taking naps? Good morning, Regina. We know you enjoy taking naps. Do you enjoy taking naps? And one thing I did with Nola is when she was good, I would say, oh my goodness, you was such a good girl today. Let's take a nap. And when she was bad, you were such a bad girl today. Let's take a nap. And she was well into her teen years before she realized she was just being told to take naps. Either way, it was a reward and a consequence. So genius on my part. Hey. Okay. All right. So real leaders schedule the intentional brain time off during the day. So naps can be scheduled. Now what happens is sometimes naps are scheduled, and then sometimes the adenosine says you sleepy. So adenosine is a hormone, and so when you are not sleepy, it's low. And when you become very sleepy, it builds throughout the day. That's why around about 2 p.m., you feel like, I'm tired. Now, if you go get some caffeine, you're going to mess with the adenosine. You want to take an Ambien at night, so don't do that. If it's possible for you to get a quick 10-minute, 15-minute power nap, then that's what you do because the brain is just saying, you've been using me all day long, and I'm tired. And then you take a power nap, and then you get back at it. So you can either schedule it or the adenosine, they call it process S&C. If you read the book Brain Rules, they're going to meet up. And either one of them, good morning, Jared, one of them is going to win, and you're either going to be awake, or the other one is going to win, and you're going to be asleep. But that natural process, if we getting ready to do some stupid shit here in America on Saturday, and we're going to fall back, and I'm going to be sleepy as shit for 10 days, maybe 12. And then I'm I'm going to be back on my regulated schedule. I don't know why we are still the only country doing this, but it messes up the sleep cycle twice a year. And it's no bueno for the people, morning people, children, pets, elderly people, medication. Or it just is a bad idea. It is a bad idea. We need to stop it, and we need to stop it. So I'm going to do my best starting next Sunday, but I already know. It don't matter if we fall back or fall forward. We shouldn't be falling forward at all. So other than that, I have naps that are scheduled. And when they are scheduled, take them. Say, oh, looking like I got a 2-hour break today. I'm going ahead and take a nap for 30 minutes. I'm going ahead and take a nap for 90 minutes. Go ahead and schedule that because you are using your brain to do, your brain wants you to do that. Now, naps are used to restore cognitive power, not escape responsibility. Every year. So it's not that, oh, I'm going to just take a nap because I don't want to deal with this. No, you're taking the nap so you can deal with it. You're taking the nap to say, all right, what do I need? After that 22.5-hour day and only 1 hour and 41 minutes of sleep, I took a 4-hour nap because I needed it. Because I actually cognitively needed it. I had so much cognitive overload. I'm going to sleep and I'm not waking up until I wake up. Sometimes I will set an alarm on my phone or my alarm clock, say 30 minutes, hour and a half. But there are opportunities when you just need to rest and recuperate, and that is necessary. So do not take a nap because you are trying to avoid responsibility. You are recovering so that when you wake up, you can handle whatever else is there for you for the rest of your day. Now, strategic rest protects accuracy, judgment, and emotional regulation. Strategic rest protects accuracy, judgment, and emotional regulation. If you want to be emotionally regulated, you need to take naps. I'm going to say that again. If you want to be emotionally regulated, you need to take naps. People say, sleep is for the weak. I don't really, I'm going to miss something. You are. Your brain going to be missing neural pathways if you don't take a nap. You are actually going to be missing something. Your amygdala is going to be able to be hijacked. You are going to be in your feelings in a negative way because of your refusal to take naps. Now, it prevents decision fatigue and reduces unnecessary errors. When you have a coherent mind, you make better decisions. But if you're tired, you are not going to have all your full cognition, your problem solving, your working memory is not going to be working that good. And next thing you know, you're going to be making dumbass decisions, which is going to lead to dumbass plans, which is going to lead to no-brainer on the results on the end of those dumbass plans. Now, napping is a leadership maintenance tool, not a weakness. So people say, that's for babies and old people. No, that's for people with brains. Naps are only for the people who have brains. That's it. You don't have a brain, you don't need a nap. But why? Why is that? And it literally is because of I'm superior, you're inferior. Some people don't like going to sleep because they doing some shit all day that's keeping them up at night. All this stuff, the Faustian bargains that they entered into. This is sleep is for the weak. Sleep is for the team, no sleep. This is how you stay up. Now, if you are in the military, I done been up for damn near 96 hours before. It ain't a good decision. I've had to do it. That's why if I get to 24 hours, bam, I could do that. That ain't shit. But it's not something that I recommend because neurologically, the brain is going to tell you, well, if you keep standing up, you keep standing. No, the brain is going to get tired. The decision making is going to become less pristine because it needs rest. So anytime someone tries to tell you that a nap is weak, you say, I'm doing brain maintenance. People go get their oil changed, they get the tires rotated, they got to get tuned up sometimes, the engine got to get flushed and everything else. And take better care. Your house got to get clean. It has to take a break from you. You go on vacation and come back. But no, the brain, And it's because you can't see the brain. So you just think the brain is brain, and then the brain is always going to be braining without really thinking of what is this doing to my brain? What is this actually doing to my brain? And so people don't take care of their brain until they realize something is wrong with it. And now they want to start gobbling up supplements and all this other stuff when you needed to be taking care of your brain the entire time. So what questions do you have about the definition of taking naps? Because after that, we're going to look at the neuroscience part of it. And we're going to discuss the difference between a power nap and a longer nap. My name is Dr. Donna Javier, icon 6181. So something must be wrong with your keypad. Are you using a tablet or a phone to type? And are you using your thumbs or your index fingers? So I'll spell it for you. Capital D, R, period. You might have to hit the shift to get to it. Capital DONNA. Okay? Because now you wouldn't want me to spell your name BITCHBOY. Didn't realize that taking a nap is a neurological need. Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is. Okay. Anyone else before we get to the neuroscience behind it? People really need something to do right now. I find it interesting that both on TikTok and YouTube, the unaccountables are unaccountabling today. What is today? Monday. So nothing is going on right now. So people need their dopamine hit. Let me go over here. He on a brain t-shirt. I'm going to say something to her. Okay. All right. Anyone else before I move on to the neuroscience information for taking naps? All right. So short naps replenish the prefrontal cortex resources used for planning, logic, and self-control. So if you're taking a short nap, that's what you're doing. If you say, I'm just sit in the car for a minute and rest my eyes. That's what the old folks used to say when I was a kid. I'm just lay on this couch for a minute and I'm just get a quick nap. That's what you're doing. So if you find yourself not being able to plan properly, you're not really being logical, and you might be losing a little bit of self-control, go ahead and take a nap. Because we see it with toddlers. We see them, and then they just fall in the middle of the floor with a binky and fall asleep. Have just wore their little brains out. Same thing is happening to you. It's just in bigger form. And so at that point, I need a nap. And go ahead and take your nap. So napping reduces, wait for it, amygdala reactivity, stabilizing emotional responses. So you mean to tell me, in order to stop my amygdala from reacting, I need to take a nap? I'm genius, y'all. I didn't even know that in 2008 when I made this a principle of real leadership. Emotional regulation. Just to quiet the doggone twins down, take a nap. Frequently. That's some good right there. Frequently. So they will be quiet if you go to sleep. Find yourself losing it, getting ready. You know what? Let me take a nap. Let me take a nap. So brief sleep increases your hippocampal memory consolidation, improving learning and retention. And I have said this before. I go to sleep and I wake up and I have connected a bunch of dots. And I'm like, okay, I need to do this. I need to stop doing this. This makes sense. This doesn't make sense. I was thinking about this. And it happens. And now that encoding is in my memory library, the hippocampus library, and I'm able to move forward. Finally, it reduces cortisol buildup, protecting the brain cells from stress, wear, and tear. From stress. Got it. From stress, wear, and tear. Good morning, Sean. That's what's happening. So the neuroscience benefits is that short naps help the prefrontal cortex. It creates emotional regulation for the amygdala. It gives you the ability to have memory consolidation in the hippocampus. I think I'm about to sneeze. Give me 1 second. One more. Oh. And it reduces cortisol buildup. That's amazing. Did y'all know that naps were that powerful from a neuroscience perspective? Do you understand the power that, thank you, that naps have? The power. So you are strengthening your prefrontal cortex, regulating your emotional center, helping your hippocampus consolidate information, and reducing cortisol buildup. If you can get a nap in every day, get a nap in every day. Take naps, take naps, take naps, take naps, because that is amazing. I had no idea that naps are that important. Yeah, we make kids them nap time at elementary school in kindergarten, first grade, kindergarten and pre-K, and we thought it was just to give the parents and the teachers a break. Everybody need to be napping. Everybody need to be napping. That is strengthening. That is strengthening that prefrontal cortex, doggone amygdala loop. Yes, they do. They actually do. And now we know why. That's why they're less uptight than Americans. So naps are your friend. And you can say, I'm getting ready to go strengthen my mind. I'll be back in about 30 minutes. I'm taking a nap. You can explain the benefits to it. So now, why am I so tired? Why am I so tired? Because your brain said, I need a break. I'm trying to use my planning and logic and self-control, and I can't do that right now. My prefrontal cortex said I need a nap. So take a nap. Take a nap. Take a nap. Did I mention take a nap? All right. Now, drink water. My second question to you is, yes, and that's the whole point. And you ain't even really started your day yet. Yeah, because what is it? It's 7:47 for you, Sean. It does. Sleep matters. So, when was your most recent nap? When was your most recent nap? And I'm having a hot flash, baby, hot flash. I should stop moving because that's going to make it worse. All right. When was your most recent nap? Regina said yesterday. Mine was yesterday too. It was about 12 minutes. 12 minutes. I was waiting on Nola to turn her stuff in. I said, I'm about to take a nap. Yesterday after work. Good morning, Lola. When was your most recent nap? So now, none of you have to, if you were feeling bad about your naps, now you got the neurological backup to say, I'm taking a nap. People used to get mad at me. I turned my phone off and everything. When I was in college, if I had an hour and a half break, man, I'd be back in my room, taking my clothes off, and I'd be taking a nap. Hey, we called you, Donna T. Where'd you sleep? I was asleep. My most recent was last Thursday in the bus. Got it. So don't feel bad about taking naps. That's the moral of the story. Yesterday for about 20 minutes. And sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes you just didn't have cognitive overload and you just need a break. And get right back up. And then you find yourself refreshed for the back half of the day, and then you don't need an energy drink. You just need, because you've been using your brain, or you've been checking people and cussing folks out and mad and can't make a decision and none of that, can't remember shit and all of that. All you got to do is take a nap. And that cortisol can't build up because you're resting. You're going to be good to go. That's your superpower. So if they ever make a new Deadpool movie, they should tell a person, what's your superpower? I take naps. I take naps. That's my superpower. All right. So here is a power nap. A power nap is 10 to 25 minutes. 10 to 25 minutes. And so it stays in the lighter stages of sleep. So you're going to hit stage 1 or stage 2. And it boosts alertness and reaction speed. It improves your focus, your accuracy, and your mood quickly. I just need to take a minute. All right, I'm back. Or 10 minutes. And you wake up feeling refreshed and ready. You are refreshed and ready from that power nap. And it's a low risk of grogginess because you don't enter deep sleep. So if you say I'm going to take a power nap 10 to 25 minutes, I do a 30-minute, I'm good. I do 10 to 30 minutes, and now you're good. So power naps, nap man to the rescue. Yes, exactly. So it is perfectly acceptable to take naps for 10 to 25 minutes. You need it. You need it. And the one thing that I was saying, and Regina was an elementary school teacher, is I'm not quite sure why we didn't keep that process our entire lives. Well, I know why, because you get prepared for the job world. But why? We got nap rooms in preschool. Why can't we have nap rooms at the job? Why can't you pull out a cot and take a nap? We used to do it when I went to ABC nursery school way back in the 70s. So my point is this. You need naps. Naps are important. So naps are important. And then for some reason they're not. but we haven't done anything to make the brain not need a nap anymore. So now you're just tired all the time. So now we have all these products that are available to get you to not take a nap, but look at the neurological benefits. So let's walk ourselves through not taking a nap. You're tired, you get to your version of 2 p.m., even if it's second shift, that would be about 8 p.m. because it's almost time to go. And you get to that version of the 2/3 of the way through your workday, and you don't take a nap. And then you take, let's act like this is an energy drink, because I don't drink them. You get an energy drink, or you go and get some caffeine, and this is decaf. And now that's 2 p.m. Your normal time to go to bed is 10 p.m. Well, that adenosine got reset. So at 9 p.m., when you're like, oh, I'm about to go to sleep, the adenosine is like, bullshit, we up, we ready. So now you have to add something else to that system, some melatonin, some doggone Ambien or something. And so now you're putting that in your system, and now that's going into the receptors. And now the brain is saying, okay, cool, okay, got it. All right, I got my Ambien, whatever the new sleep medication is. Now you slept too long. So now you wake up, now you need caffeine. And now 2 p.m. comes, and now you need some more caffeine. Because at that point, the adenosine said, we're so tired. No, we're not. Let me get this energy drink. Now they got coffee and boosters when you go to Starbucks and all that. They come in different flavors, and they got all that damn fake ass sugar in it and all this sugar alternatives. And so you find yourself in this loop, this non-napping loop. So what have you missed out on? Let's go back to the benefits of the nap. If you didn't take the nap, now you can't plan. Now you can't have logic. And now you don't have self-control. And Sean said adult pride. Like I'm grown now, I said to my daughter, and that is what she said. Yes. So we have, what do they say? We have, I forgot the word, it's escaping me right now. But we've made it so naps are not normalized anymore. So we made, you over there taking a nap? Weak ass. What you doing with your caffeine at 2 p.m.? So, no nap, caffeine, melatonin, no more adenosine. Your adenosine is gone. Now, you can't access logic. Well, we agree that when we come in contact with adults, their logic ain't logicking. Their problem solving ain't problem solving. Their self-control is not self-control. Because you're not getting the right sleep. You're not hitting 1 and 2 in a power nap, and you're not getting to REM 4 in your night's rest. Why? Because you got some Ambien that went in there, and the adenosine will be natural sleep. The Ambien is comatose sleep, and then you get back up. So you messed that up. Now you don't have emotional regulation because caffeine. What do you think caffeine does to the brain? So now you on edge the whole time. There is no self-control. I gotta get my coffee. Don't talk to me. I ain't had my coffee. I need my coffee. Shut up until I get my coffee. Now, when you go to sleep, because you had some melatonin or some Ambien, guess what else doesn't happen? You're not processing and putting anything in your hippocampus. So there is no memory cognition. There is no recall. And I'm going to put all this data in this section of the memory library. And then finally, good morning, cortisol doesn't have time to get out of your mind. So you can't think clearly. That pretty much explains all the adults in the world. Not taking naps, not going to sleep correctly. And then if you don't have any sleep aids, you're not doing a brain dump. So then that shit is still in your head. So you're still not getting a good night's rest either. And so what we have is a bunch of sleeping, angry toddlers running the world. Everybody needs to take a nap. It needs to be National Nap Time. We don't have National Nap Month. We got every month that you can think of, but National Nap Month, to my knowledge, doesn't exist. If sleep were important to the American people, we would not have daylight savings time, and we would not have fallback, whatever the fuck they call it. It's not important. What is important is that what happens that you stay awake all the time. Even when you're not supposed to be awake, be awake. No, I just take a 5-hour energy. I'm going to just, pull all night. I'm going to take a 5-hour energy. What's happening to your poor little brain with that 5-hour energy? You get it, pull all night. And then what? And then I'll just crash and burn. So now you're going to a comatose state. So the hippocampus can't process what was for those 24 hours that you were up. Everybody needs to take a nap. No emotional regulation. I'm tired. Okay, cool. Take a nap. I can't take a nap. I got too much. Sleep is for the weak. Okay. Well, if you took a 10 to 30-minute nap, the thing that you needed to do, you'd actually be faster at it because you'd be able to process it better. That's what would actually happen. But because you're not taking a nap, you're just overexerting your brain even more, and the shit is getting less and less clear. That's why if you come across a business model or process or something that didn't make sense, those people was in a meeting tired and they made those decisions. You'd be sitting there like, why the fuck? How come that don't make no sense? Right. Because they were sleepy when they made that decision. They needed a nap. And instead they had that 2 o'clock. Don't have no more 2 o'clock Zoom meetings. No, that's a bad time for people to be making decisions. Don't do that shit. Good morning. Don't do that. Don't have a 2 o'clock meeting. We actually do business with a chiropractor and they give their people 2-hour lunches. And that makes sense. That makes sense. That gives you enough time that if you want to eat, I can eat at the beginning of my lunch or take a nap and then eat at the end of my lunch. Either way. Makes sense. Makes sense. Later for that 15-minute break and the other one, just put that shit all together in the middle of the day and let them take a nap. The workforce will be happier. They will be more engaged. They will be better off. Let them go sit in their car and take a nap and come back. Make a nap room. Wipe it down like they figured it out in daycare. Get some of them rubber mattresses. Everybody bring their little sheet. I'm taking a nap. Take a nap at my desk. We have better, happier people. So that's what's taking place. So no power naps. So let's look at longer naps. Longer naps are 45 minutes up to 90 plus minutes. So you enter a deep sleep and sometimes full sleep cycles. You can get to one whole complete REM 4 cycle in 90 minutes. I'm a naptologist. Trust me, it's possible. I take the best naps. I promise you. And yes, and here's the other thing. If you are at home, Nola don't do it because it don't bother her. But for me, I got to put my pajamas on. I got to put my pajamas on. I got to put my hat on my head and I got to put my sleep mask on. And I got to get my blanket. I actually have a nap blanket. Yes, I do at 52 years old. I sure do. Because if I'm only going to take a short nap, then I'm laying on top of my doggone bedspread. If it's long, I'm getting under the cover. And I'm going to turn my fan on because I'm going to be kicking that cover off every 20 minutes for a hot flash. But I am going to sleep. I have 1,000-count thread sheets with a extra firm pillow, and I'm going to sleep like a toddler. So make sure that the environment is conducive. Now, sometimes I'll be in the car waiting on Nola, and all I could do is take a towel or a jacket and roll it so my neck don't hurt, and I would just put some sunglasses on and get me a quick 15, 20-minute nap in. So yeah, make sure the nap environment is correct if you're taking longer naps. And so what happens is for longer naps, it's better for memory consolidation and learning new material. You said what? Memory consolidation and learning new material. So if you are attempting to learn something, you're going to do the Pomodoro technique, which is 10 to 25 minutes of studying and take a 5 to 10-minute break. But you can also incorporate a nap in that studying. So now you done studied, and now you're going to take a 45 minutes to 90-minute nap. And when you wake back up, the information is going to be more embedded in your hippocampus. You're going to learn it better. So it can also restore physical or emotional reserves more fully. So you're physically resting your body and yes, and you have emotional regulation. Just think about toddlers. When they need a nap, they are contrary. They don't want to do nothing. You can't feed them. They don't want to play. I love you, mommy. 20 minutes later, mommy, I love you, mommy. Mwah, mommy, mwah, I love you. That's what's happening. They went and took their power nap and now they're good. So don't resist the sleep. Just go ahead and wake up and say, I love you, Dr. Donna. Mwah, you're awesome. So tell yourself that, not me. So you have a higher chance of sleep inertia and groggy or heavy feeling if you wake up mid-cycle. So if you only have 30 minutes, don't try to take a 45-minute nap. Take a power nap. If you like, yeah, but I feel like I could get 40. No. If you can't get all the way through your REM cycle, take a power nap instead. Because that's when you're like, damn, I took a nap. Why am I tired? Because you took the wrong kind of nap. You didn't assess. You didn't plan it. I told y'all, I'm a naptologist. How much time we got? Okay, cool. Damn. And now you can assess. The insular will tell you, I'm a little bit more tired than that. I can't have that. Okay, cool. Today is not a day for a nap. But not every day. You can't go every day without taking a nap. That's no brainer. And then finally, it's best taken when you won't need to perform immediately after. You hear that? So do not take a complete nap if as soon as you get up, you got to go live. Don't do that. Part of the reason why I was able to do that live with an hour and 41 minutes of sleep is because it was just a nap. That's all. I was like, this shit a nap. I'm going to take my real sleep after this live. Is it enough time? Okay, cool. Because at one point when we was at the appointment, I was like, damn, I might as well stay up because I thought about it. I was like, this ain't enough time. And then I had enough time. So I said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to just sleep till 3:30. If I sleep till 3:30, then I'm going to get my 90 minutes in and I did. I got an hour and 41 minutes in. And so there you have it. So the point is, if you have to do something immediately after, you need a power nap. If you don't, and you can take your time, you can get up and you old, you can stretch and do some things, that's when you take a longer nap. And I told y'all that we were off. I'm like, I'm going to sleep until I wake up. Okay, so what questions do you have about the difference between a power nap, a longer nap, and why you need to take naps? Any questions whatsoever? And while you're doing that, drink water. So power naps sharpen the brain fast for performance right now. Longer naps rebuild the brain deeper for performance later. So if you need to be able to perform right now, you need a power nap. If you need to be able to do some shit later this afternoon, then you take a longer nap. Is that clear? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Is it clear? No questions. No questions. No questions. No questions. Nola said she got it. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Okay. So before we get to the brain bit, I'm doing some research for myself. And some of you are going to have to think back to the beginning of the year. And here's the question that I'm asking you. Before you came in contact with me, Dr. Donna Thomas-Rodgers, can you talk about the REM cycle? I only know a little. What I can say is I'm not fully, completely prepared to answer that question completely, but what I can do is as soon as I find my Post-it notes, what happens, there you go, is my Post-it notes changed. I messed around, and I'm going to get to your answer. I messed around and bought the thick pack of Post-its instead of individual Post-its, and so the color keeps changing. So normally I'm out, I get to the bottom, I throw it away, I know what color I'm on, but the color keeps changing. So REM cycles details. So what I do know short term is that REM 1 and 2 are, you kind of still, you can hear things. You kind of still know what's going on. If there's a bird outside your window, you might be able to hear the landscapers. And you sleep in 90-minute REM cycles, and your objective is to get to REM 4 within those 90-minute cycles. So if you sleep overnight, you sleep for 7 to 8 hours, you should hit 4 REM 4 cycles. And that's that deep sleep. That's where you're actually getting the amount of rest, and your brain is doing what it needs to do while you're resting. And the rest of the time, so if you find yourself, you went to sleep for 8 hours and you feel unrested, you never hit the REM 4 cycle. So you never got to that deep sleep state that the brain actually needed. Now, that's how much I know from just taking naps, but I will get some more information and make it a brain bit soon, just so you understand it. So 90-minute cycles of REM. And when you're in a 30-minute cycle, that's why you just get to 1 or 2 to get all the way to 4, which is the best sleep that you can get. And if you ever woke up and you say, man, that was some good sleep right there, that's because you hit REM 4. Yeah. So it's rapid eye movement is what that REM stands for. Okay. And so I will do some more research, my pleasure, and we will see how. And if all that information is inaccurate, then hey, I would say I was wrong as shit, y'all. Here go the real deal. But to my knowledge, the research that I did way back in the day, because I used to be like, I got to hit room 4. I got to hit room 4. And what was available for me at that time. So I will be updating my information. But short answer, room 4 is the best sleep. 90-minute REM cycles. There could be some more research out that says that you can get there at 60. I believe it's still 90 just because of how much I nap. And I'm my own test subject. So my question to you all is this. And I'm doing research because TikTok is TikToking it. And so it's great. I'm so happy I'm back on TikTok. Here is the thing that I need to understand as I continue to figure out what I'm doing on TikTok lives. Go back to when you first came in contact with me. Not you, Nola, because I'm your mama. But for you, Nola, when you started saying, I need to do what she's saying. For Nola. For everybody else, think back to when you first saw me on the screen. Everybody got that? Now, if you can remember, and I'm about to write this down. Give me 1 second. If you can remember, from the first time you saw me on the screen until you said, she know what she talking about. How much time was that? If you can remember. So you saw me, and then at some point you said, I'm coming back. She know what she talking about. What was that window of time? And you don't have to say, well, it was January 17th at 3:38 a.m. And then by January 9th, you can say a week. You can say 5 days. You can say 2 months. I just need to know parameters on the low end and on the high end. What was that timeline? And if you say, listen, I'm perimenopausal, Dr. Donna, shit, I don't remember. About 3 lives. Okay, so for you, was that daily lives, Jared? Or you see what I'm saying? Was that within a week or was that back to back? Because at first you were sporadic. I do remember that. 10 days ago. 3 months. So Sean, was it you saw me and then you started, because you've been around for doing work now for almost a month or a little bit over a month now. So you're saying it was 3 months ago, and then in 2 months, it took you 2 months. So you saw me and then it was 2 months. So you saw me and then you said, I need that. So Jared has said 7 days. And I think we got up until 2 months. Morning YouTubes after morning devotion. Okay. So would you say, Sean, that it was 2 months before you started subscribing on YouTube or Instagram because you were attending? And then I said, Sean, you're just going to have to do it. Regina said, well, I saw you when you first transitioned to YouTube and immediately recognized that you knew what you were talking about and began to follow. Got it. So for Regina, it was immediately. Okay. 1 week later. So we're looking at 7 days, immediate to 7 days. So instant to 7 days. All right. Anyone else got an answer? Okay. Thank you. Now, my next question is, did you compare me to anybody else? Yes, you did have trouble within a payment, within a week for me. I misunderstood the question. I saw you on TikTok, then I joined you on YouTube Live immediately. Got it. So immediately for you too, cooking with Maddie Grandma. The three times I saw you, I subscribed. Got it. No, it was not immediate. Okay. So please, cooking with Maddie's grandma, if you could explain your no. Now, my next question is, did you compare me to anybody else? And we have time because I'm doing this now because I'm like, I've been trying to ask this, haven't had time. Gonna do the brain bit is patio furniture. Got it. You spoke volumes. No, I think you're saying you didn't. I think I got it. Cooking with Maddie's grandma. You saying no. Okay, so didn't compare me with nobody else. Daisy, you did compare me? No, I didn't. 857 chosen. Who did you compare me to? Jared said, I thought you were different. No, comparisons didn't really follow anyone. It was in November of last year. You were on TikTok and you was doing math problems. And I believe in one God. Yes. I believe in one God. Yes, ma'am. And you are first and the only that made so much sense and it works. Okay. And then who said it? Somebody said yes. So 857 chosen. Who did you compare me to? That was my name. I got it, Lola. You are I believe in one God. I believe it. Now I understand. So I got to go back to November then, Lola. I understand now. Thank you for that. 857 is you coming to tell me who you compare me to? And it's not going to offend me. I've been compared to Jim Jones. So. Okay. My next question is, what made you trust me? You thought I was like all the self-help influencers? If you could expand on that, that would be great. So what did I do that made you think I was like them? And then for everybody else, what made you trust me? And let's be clear, I'm an educator, not a self-help influencer. You made sense. Thank you, Lola. So the question is, what made you all trust me? All the people that showed up on my algorithm. I understand. I used to Eric Thomas, but something was not clicking when I was the way how you explain how the individual brain works. Because I tried your method and it works, and it was logic and strategy to change. Got it. Thank you all for these answers. You are helping me immensely. And 857 chosen. You just gave me internet gold with that answer. Okay. I trust you because you know what you're speaking about and you could relate to some of the things you talked about. You made it easy to understand. I like your speaking style. Got it. Okay. Now, Regina, I appreciated your brutal honesties, no airs, no fake, transparent vulnerability, real world experience, and connections to people's humanity. Thank you very much for that, Regina. That is the objective. And Jared, I believe the inclusion of how the brain works have really opened my eyes. All right, bet. Final question on the day. What made you subscribe or start a challenge? My life's changed. Yes, ma'am. Your life has changed, my amazing offspring. So what made you subscribe or start a challenge? What was the click for you to say, I'm about to do this work? I'm about to put in work. And drink water. I need to put in the work for I was a stuck position. You woke me up. Thank you. My pleasure. Now I'm cold. Perimenopause. Regina, I needed to do something different in my thinking, and you provided the structured plan for helping me change. Y'all must have iPhones with those icons, because I don't have none of those emojis on my phone, I don't think. For when you spoke about Amy and Lala, the twins. That part, like Sean, me. Yes, I got it, Daisy. I put it in there. Okay, cool. Anything else? All right, Lola, I tried something you said and it worked, and it's still working. Well, all right. Yeah, I said it worked, so it better work. If I'm saying that Jared is telling people to do the work, and I Nola said it works. She said it for years, it works. She kept saying it. So finally I started saying it. And yeah, it does. All right, thank you so very much, because I have not had time in a minute. I've been trying to ask these questions for at least 3 or 4 weeks and could not do it. So taking naps was short enough for me to be able to do that. I thank everybody for their input. It is in my handy dandy notebook, like I'm Dora. I don't even know if Dora still have a notebook. She probably got a tablet by now. Anyway, the information is necessary because here's the thing. My new year is coming up on Saturday. New year, new me. All right. And so when I go into my new year, I like your delivery and your approach. Thank you very much, 857 Chosen. I was stuck in the comfort zone for way too long. Yes, sir. You kicking that bad boy. You went and got a sledgehammer for real, for real. We talked about that. I'm like, no chisel. Go ahead and get you a sledgehammer or excavator and dismantle that motherfucker. There's a claw machine. Get rid of it. And so as I come into my new year, which will be on Saturday, I have to have an objective going into my new year. And what I have been working on behind the scenes neurologically is, let's go, right, is that I can't see people as the program says it. And I have neurologically been working on it. Woke up this morning with the same thing. So I spent a lot of time in my default mode network since I got very little screen time at this point. And what I need to focus on growing forward, because once I'm finished with this book challenge on January 12th, I'm going to start my 12th book challenge, and it'll go to the next January 12th. And I'm only reading brain books, one brain book a month, so that I fully absorb the material, one brain book review to make sure I got this. Because what is happening is I find myself going back and forth. And hear me out. Here's the thing. On lives, and Chad and I have had this discussion too. On lives, I got it. I'm not being fake when I'm not on lives, when I'm off lives. But what I find myself is I'm still, and Noah's going to say bullshit, I feel like neurologically, I'm still participating in this world. And by that, I'm saying, I might say something like the African-American man over there, that European-American man, they're Asian-American. Well, they old. Well, they rich. Well, they this. And I can't do that anymore. As much as I can, I can't. Because I have said there are 2 types of people in the world. people who hold themselves personally accountable and people who don't. But in my brain, I slip up. In my brain, I will process what I have been programmed to process. And that can't be because I am the originator. I am the originator. And so as November shows up, I got to make a decision. And it's going to be hard as hell for me to do this because no one else is fucking doing it. And I got to see two types of people. Beyond them being personally accountable or unaccountable, I got to go a step further. They either have emotional regulation or they have emotional dysregulation. Now, this shit about to be hard as hell. It's not going to be simple at all because right now we have a massive amount of people bringing their pets into stores where there shouldn't be pets and holding their pets because of where I live. They think this is something that they should be able to do. And so they're doing it. And so the manager leader in me wants to go, and I already call Whole Foods and check them and everything else because they're everywhere. And they're there between the hours of 10 and 7 a.m. I already clocked when it's happening and all of that. Told the manager of Whole Foods and everything. Now they got to have health person come in and look at the board of health got to come in and tell people they're not a service dog. Get these dogs out of here. Quit feeding them on a hot cart. Bunch of bullshit. But I have to look at that person instead of saying, why the fuck you got a damn Great Dane in motherfucking Whole Foods? Because I had a Great Dane snapping me in Whole Foods, yes. But they're working on it. It's just so many people going to this new Whole Foods. The manager's like, I wish I could stand at the door. Because as soon as we leave, here they come. So anyway, the point is this. I can't look at that person and no true story. The other day, Nola and I were in there. He had a Great Dane. Not a Great Dane, a German Shepherd. A German Shepherd. Non-service German Shepherd. Not a Great Dane, a German Shepherd. And not a police dog. Non-service German Shepherd in Whole Foods during peak hours with children and old people and people with pet allergies and everything else walking around, hot carton and everything. And I was going to say something. And then we had someone else with a little Pomeranian in Sprouts trying to do self-checkout and hold the dog and move the thing and do all of these other things. Yes, no good either way. But because these privileged California people who take their dog everywhere in California decided that they're going to do it here and they want their dogs. Now, we have restaurants for them. We have Lazy Dog. We have a bunch of Pet Smarts and all of that. We have a lot of dog parks for them to take their dogs to. But this group has decided one person did it, so we all can do it. What I believe is going to happen is a dog is going to bite a child or an older person. Two dogs are going to get into a fight. Something's going to happen. And then we're going to have a dog law. And now all stores are going to have security at the front to tell people turn your dogs away. That's a side point. But what I have to do neurologically, because I was getting ready to switch Whole Foods and everything, got on the manager. He told me they're working on it. I understood what was taking place. I said, okay, got it. Y'all own it. You're not going to lose a 15-year customer. Got it. So my point is this. I can't look at that for what that looks like. That's why I asked y'all for this information as I prepare for my new year. I have to say that's emotional dysregulation. Now, this shit is going to be hard as hell for me to do. I already know it. I'm probably going to have a hole in my tongue from biting my tongue. But in order for it to change, I got to be the change. I got to let the change start with me. And I now, starting November 1st, have to say that's emotional dysregulation. And I have to identify neurologically what is actually taking place. And the idea came to me from being at Nola's client's house with reaction videos and everything else. So I have to say that. Now, motherfuckers ain't getting away with shit. Nobody ain't coming into my comment section and just doing whatever they're doing. I'm going to go ham and go burger. And then I'm going to tell them neurologically while they're doing what they're doing. And then they're going to get blocked. So I'm not about to be soft and nice. But what I am doing is I'm saying, I got to register the neurological lack of decision-making process. I have to say this is a lack of inhibition control. This is Amy and Lala, and this person is doing it because the guardrails are off, and now they are seeing, oh, I can get away with this. Let me do this. And it's emotional dysregulation. And we go to them and present them with the facts. Now, be prepared for them to be defensive because they're being held personally accountable. So that is why I asked you all for that information. That is what I must do. Because I'm participating. If I go get mad and slap the shit out of the customer with the damn, not Doberman Pinscher, but the German Shepherd, then I'm wrong. So I already went to Whole Foods. They're already trying to work on it, but the amount of people moving here and coming with these dogs is too many. And that's not my problem to solve. My problem to solve is everyday adults being emotionally dysregulated. So people bringing non-service dogs into places of food, retail stores, and restaurants is emotional dysregulation. That's what it is. That's what it is. And I have to say that's what it is. And you need to become regulated. So that's why I asked you all those questions, because you all are working on emotional regulation. And I needed to know why you made the switch to start becoming emotionally regulated as part of my future research, which is why I have to spend 2026 studying the brain, mastering the brain, teaching others how to do the same, because we need to change as humanity. Because it's people making everyday decisions, getting in a car, drinking, harming somebody else. People hurt people, people having children and nobody's doing their homework. These are everyday decisions that create emotional dysregulation and cause other people to have hijacked amygdalas. So I can't participate and say, see, it's a damn shame. And just say it. But be the person who explains neurologically why people are bringing dogs into places where dogs are not allowed, especially when we have restaurants and places for people to actually take their pets, non-service dogs. That's what we do. We have it. And people have gone so far as to buy the service vest and not have the pet service qualified. And now that pet is going to bite somebody. And now y'all going to be broke. Your phantom is going to belong to somebody else. That's what's going to take place. Feeding the pets off the hot cart. Just emotional dysregulation. So that's why I asked y'all all the questions starting on November 1st. That's my next neuro challenge for myself, is to actually see people's neurological functions. We'll see how this goes. Doesn't mean people are not going to get their asses handed to them in the comment section. But what it does mean is that I'm going to perfectly understand neurologically why it's taking place. Why it is taking place. And it's not, well, what time of year it is. That's what I'm saying. So, for example, I'm like, dang, football, nothing must be on television. No, people have emotional dysregulation. That's just the coming in the comments section is the result. The root cause is emotional dysregulation. They're doing this in the government, emotional dysregulation, because the decisions don't make sense. That's how I know it's emotional dysregulation. Because when you have emotional regulation, you take your naps, you're going to be logical. You're going to do the right thing. Your insula is going to be in check. You're going to have empathy for people. Your ACC is going to regulate you so you don't have cortisol and brain fog. Your phone is buffering, okay? So that's what's taking place. Somebody, this is similar to you not being on media and regulating your Amy and Lala. Yes, ma'am. That's what it is. It's going to be difficult for me because it has never been done before. So now I need to create these new neural pathways that says, stop looking at the symptom. Somebody bringing a dog into Whole Foods, even though that's against the law. It's against the law. It's a sign. This is a law. You're going to get a fine for this. Why would someone break the law in public like this? Emotional dysregulation. Then we can unpack what part of Amy and Lala made this person do this. But at the end of the day, it's a non-logical decision, which means cortisol cut off access to the prefrontal cortex. And they said, I'm going to break the law. Amy and Lala said it, because a logical person wouldn't say it. Everyday person is like, I'm going to break the law. But it's one of them small things. You're speeding 65 miles an hour. You could do 70. You could do 75. And it's just because the guardrails are off. Now you have people doing 120 miles an hour, unaliving other people because they started with just doing 70 miles an hour. Just doing that. So the guardrails come off. And now there is no inhibition control because there is no prefrontal cortex strength. That's why we have everything that we have. And so I need to keep saying that's emotional dysregulation. And here's why. Because when your insula is strong, you have empathy for people. You say, you know what? I'm going to leave my badass dog at home. I'm going to go run to the store. Or in today's world, you can have Whole Foods groceries delivered to you. You don't even have to go to the store. They can deliver them to you, to your house. You got your dog with you and you got your food with you. Now, one thing that someone said, let me go back. Maddie's grandma said, I subscribe to your channel because I think you can help me understand the way the brain functions, and just put it in the nutshell. I think you can help me. Got it. Lola said, November is my new year as well. My birthday month and I plan to do something different. I like to improve myself. Well, happy future birthday to you, Lola. If you choose to celebrate in Whole Foods, got it. Phone buffering. This is similar to you, not yes. And then Regina. So you got to give yourself some grace as you transition because this is still a challenge. How will you document your progress? I'm gonna document my progress on lives. I'm actually gonna document my progress because my starting point is November 1st. So by next November 1st, I should be completely wired. I probably will go get a rubber band because we need new rubber bands, and I will use the snap technique to stop it. So this time next year, I should be able to look at my lives and what I'm doing, the language. So I'll say, for example, I went and looked at some lives from March. Okay, I didn't think so, Lola. I said it and then thought about it after I said it. I didn't think so. So I went back and looked at some lives from March and the difference of the presentation and the information that I had. So I know it's neurologically possible, but I need to keep up in the ante as well, because what is your next level? So you study the brain, you master the brain, you teach others how to do the same. But what does it mean to have a high functioning brain? What does that look like in everyday life? That's what I got to work on. So yeah, I'm gonna give myself some grace. I'm not about to be November 4th, like, dumbass, you didn't fucking, no. I understand that first of all, it's gonna take 8 days to even create the neural pathway. But I'm saying these things publicly from an accountability perspective so that I'm true to myself. Just like with my book challenges, and I said I'm gonna read a book. How do I maintain my accountability? And now that's how I'm gonna do it. So the days that I slip up, apologize when you're wrong, give myself the right to understand that nobody's brain has been wired this way. So the last thing I'm going to do, I need to be giving myself neurological credit just for thinking this has to be done because someone has to see it. So you all saw me, you all say, hey, you said something, you did something, and that made me say yes. So had I not, if I stayed at Frito-Lay, there is no real leadership. There's a book, but no real leadership. There is no neuromobility or none of that. So now, what is that 2 levels up? And that 2 levels up is I only see 2 types of people. People that are emotionally regulated and people that are not. And so from that, there's just education. This is how you become emotionally regulated. And it is a personal choice. All of you have different reasons for being here. And that's why I asked you, but something clicked for you and you said, I need to learn how to use my brain. I need to learn how to be personally accountable. I want that. I want to grow. I want to change. So you're challenging somatic markers. I am somatic markers. Yes, I am challenging Amy and Lala when they look at a person and say, oh, that person is, I see this. Now I am very good at reading people, but I'm saying neurologically, why is that person behaving like that? And that person either is emotionally regulated and they have a strong prefrontal cortex and amygdala loop, or they have emotional dysregulation. It's 2 categories. Wow. Got it. Rubber band, slow down to think, a different way of thinking, like right then moment. Yes, somatic markers. And now you got me questioning if I'm saying it right. Let me do that too. So the somatic markers are, you look at things and you put them together to say, if this plus this, that means this. So it's quick, basically snap judgments that you make to assess something very quickly. African American female with synthetic hair on and a brain t-shirt. She must be a life coach. Like that. So yeah, that part. So in summary, just checking, not sure spelling. Yes. So I put that down as a note as well. So your brain bit for today, thank you all for that process and allowing me to share that so that you can understand if you notice a switch. You may or may, I make switches all the time. You may or may not notice them, but because New Year is my November 1st is my new year, I make a galactic shift when the new year starts. Only I stick to it. So 2 years ago, I started going live and now I'm coming around third on being live for 2 years. So when I make a switch is huge. So the brain bit is patio furniture. Yesterday, our second appointment included patio furniture. I was at a loss for a brain bit. No one was putting together a chair. I said, fuck it, patio furniture. Let's see what happens. So your brain is like patio furniture. If you leave it unused, unchanged, and exposed to the same conditions day after day, it becomes stiff, faded, and fragile. I'll say that again. Your brain is like patio furniture. If you leave it unused, unchanged, and exposed to the same conditions day after day, it becomes stiff, faded, and fragile. When you intentionally use it, move it, clean it, and maintain it, it stays strong, flexible, and ready to serve you. So you can have that patio furniture, you go to people's backyard, and you're like, no, I'm not sitting on that. Or you're like, damn, your backyard is amazing. Would you vacuum this off? My goodness, this is a beautiful setting that you have here. So you can either have that old stiff ass patio furniture, or you can have that patio furniture that you are maintaining, cleaning, moving, making it flexible, moving it as the sun or the weathers. You take the cushions and put it in the garage during inclement weather, dust it off, you cover it up, and you are taking care of it. So yes, that is your brain as patio furniture. Final four things for today was, what was your everyday flex yesterday? Everyday flex yesterday. And then after you do your everyday flex, what did you learn today? What did you learn about yourself? And what was your brain conversation? And while you're doing that, I'm going to drink water. I'm not drinking enough water on my TikTok live. All right, so your everyday flex yesterday. No flex unless my nap. Yep. Okay. No flex. Yep, the nap was a flex. Jared, my flex yesterday was finishing the book Fish. That's awesome. Sean said, my everyday flex, I cooked a good Sunday meal. All right now. Nola, putting my foot down and keeping it down and not providing comfort or guidance for poor decision making. That is correct. My flex yesterday was I got a lot done. Regina said, I learned that I will tell my sister why her napping is a good thing. This sister loves to nap. Everyone knows not to mess with her during nap time. Right. Jared said, I love naps play a major role in emotional regulation. I learned that naps play a major role in emotional regulation. They do. I learned that naps are like an energy drink. It's a natural release, yes. So what happens again is that adenosine builds up and says you're sleepy. The brain says, okay, let me go to sleep. It's a power nap. You're going to come back with some quick information. If you need to get longer things done, you take a longer nap. Regina, I learned the reasons why napping benefits my brain and that it helps with decision making, planning, and emotional regulation. Yes. So if you got to make quick in real time decisions, a short nap. If you got to make longer decisions, make a longer nap. And remember, after the longer nap, you can't jump right back into something because that's going to cause you to be groggy. So give yourself time to regroup and wake up after the longer nap. Jared said, my brain conversation was that Amy and Lala don't stop trying to get you back. Right. Thank you for that, Jared. Because people think, and this is anybody that's been in 12 steps or with 12 steps, it's called you're recovering because you're never recovered. So people think that I'm over here, like you said, I want to lose 20 pounds. And then you lose your 20 pounds and you good. I don't need you trainer no more. I got this. No, you don't got this. Because as soon as you stop, you got this, you leave. Amy and Lala showing back up. They're like, did they stop? They stopped talking to Dr. Donna? Shit, we got this. 30 days later, you're going to be back where you was before. Back where you were, because they're not going to stop. They can, just as simply as they can get regulated, they can get dysregulated. You will. You will. About myself, it's okay to take a nap, and I am not weak. You are not. So that's what people keep thinking. Amy and Lala like, yeah, you good. Come back over here. And next thing you know, your ass going to be watching crime shows and listening to gospel music. All the fall stuff came out. I don't know what happened. I have no clue at all. Ain't been on it. Ain't on my tablet. And the passwords is NOLA. So I will have to ask her to put it back on my tablet. I don't know how to get into them. Probably the worst ever. Yes. So I have no idea. The things that I'm watching with her are documentaries, and they are in her room with a screen and a projector. So I don't have access to it. Not going to wet places. That's what they call it when you're in AA. Not at all. And the things I literally have been changed because I went so long on TikTok that I got to do not interested for the brain stuff to even come back. Because if you let it sit, it's going to ferment and it's going to stink. It's going to be really, 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 really bad. Okay. All right. Does anybody have anything else that they want to put in before I get out of here? So the summation is naps are your friends. That's why it's one of the 74 principles of real leadership. It benefits your brain. I'm not going to tell you to do something that doesn't benefit your brain in any way, what shape, form, whatsoever. That's not going to happen. I am working on my new mission, which is there's only two types of people in the world: people who have emotional regulation and people who don't. And I believe that will stop anything else that I'm focusing on that I can just name it and claim it. Nope, that's emotional regulation. That's emotional dysregulation. Hijacked amygdala. Insula is weak. ACC has no control. Is it in the daily, like Dr. Donna says? Is what in the daily, Jared? Emotional regulation. Oh, you saying it is in the daily? Yes. It is. Because here's what I believe. When more people have emotional regulation and negativity bias is pruned from all, okay, have a great one, Regina. Negativity bias is pruned from all of the brains, then there will be no more dysregulation. I don't know if it's going to happen in my lifetime, but it can happen. I believe it can happen in one generation or less. Then there will be no more emotional dysregulation. So now you won't have to make it a thing that you focus on. But when it's coming from every side, everywhere you go, soon as you stop doing it, no one else is doing it. So now around you, it's going to happen. And so you're going to go from a thermostat to a thermometer, and you're going to get that loser unaccountability juice back on you and go right back to emotional dysregulation. So until we get to critical mass, it's something that has to happen every day. That's how it goes. All right. So thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate the notes for today. It helped me out immensely. Definitely grateful for it. You all go off and have a great rest of your day. My pleasure. I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Safe space, different brain t-shirt. Have a brain-tastic day. Take care. Adios.